One thing that has made this election campaign different is the use of social media by the political parties. Since the last election, networks like Twitter have become hugely influential, and all parties are trying to use it to their advantage. So it's no surprise that the selfie has become even more of a hit, with all the leaders being snapped with members of the public, which is then, of course, uploaded and shared around the country, if not the world. Ned Simons is a political journalist at the Huffington Post, and I guess it beats being photographed with a bacon sandwich, Ned. Why are they into this?
I think it's a different way to communicate with people. I mean, it's a very controlled campaign. The leaders aren't letting journalists near them that much. There's no morning press conferences. So any bit of Twitter action, any funny picture, any Vine, anything that's a bit different kind of gets public more engaged, but they can also control it. I mean, the famous Ed Miliband and the hen do we saw over the weekend was a great example of him.
We have it now. Here it is. Yeah, I mean, look.
Them being able to use that kind of picture to remake his image. They spent 3 years trying to make him look good, and all it took was one hen party to gate crash his bus, and suddenly he's a sex symbol.
If only they'd thought of that at Labour HQ. It could have made all the difference quite a while ago. But you've hit the nail on the head there. It's control, isn't it? Look, it might seem like David Cameron's popping up for a selfie and it's all, a bit off the cuff and ad-libbed, but it's not.
Yeah, we had today, this is examples of Millie fandom, this hashtag of people expressing their love in a kind of teenage way. Imagine sort of One Direction fans. But there's this conspiracy theory that it's all controlled by the Labour Party. And there's this alternate one of the Conservatives fans of Cameron, and people saying that's controlled by CCHQ or something. There's always these dark conspiracies that even the fun stuff is being the strings are being pulled from behind the scenes.
Let's get back to that point, though, about them trying to bypass the traditional media, like us, not you, but certainly us in broadcast news, and also bypass, well, the difficult questions, because, in fairness to that hen do, they're not going to ask much about the deficit, are they?
I think it's a way to look like you're very accessible. If you get pictures taken of yourself having a selfie with a voter, even if it's just one, but a photo of that's in the newspapers, that's on TV shows like yours, it makes them look like they're talking to people. It's a way of looking like they're accessible without actually being accessible.
But you think about all those other moments that have been thrown up in previous elections. Margaret Thatcher being taken to task by a voter over the Belgrano. Gordon Brown calling a woman bigoted when his mic was mistakenly up. We haven't really had any of that yet, have we?
No, and I think a lot of those things happen when leaders are out meeting people, and David Cameron's doing very few kind of walking around with the public. Ed Miliband's doing some, but not many. Nick Clegg's making himself quite accessible, but obviously people are mostly focused on Cameron and Miliband. They don't want anything that's unfortunate. They don't want another bigoted woman moment, because that explodes their campaign message.
Perhaps explains why they're not on Vine so much, which is the video looping thing. They're just keeping it safe with tweets and photos for the time being, Ned.
And journalists, though, chasing them around with Vines and Periscopes, live filming them, looking for that moment that we're after.
You're getting far too advanced for me now. Ned, thank you very much indeed. Good to see you.